This is from That's a Wrap 818. And That's a Wrap says, in your opinion, do you think Disney will actually announce some kind of expansion for Anaheim this year? Time is ticking on the Olympics. Now, from what I understand, the Olympics in LA is what, 2028?
28. Yeah.
So what do you think, George? You think that they're going to announce some kind of expansion this year? I mean, we're only talking like 6 months or something, right? This year?
Yeah, I think there's a difference of announcing an expansion and when the expansion is completed.
Right.
And especially the route that Disney goes of how they kind of take their time, and the original concept is never the final product that we get. And so I feel like if they were to announce an expansion, I feel like it's going to be possibly at the next D23 Expo, or even maybe even give us a hint at like the Destination D. I think it's going to be for something that big. They're going to hold off for a special hard ticket event. And normally with Disney, that's usually through D23, the official Disney fan club. So I feel like, yes, I think we're going to get the announcement, which could possibly open up in phases. So maybe one of the phases would be open in time for the Olympics. So it kind of just draws attention to say, hey, you know what? Disneyland's getting an expansion, and the Olympics is coming. So I think they're going to want to have something set up. It may not be in full complete, but I think Disney may have something planned to open in phases. So something is there that people can get a little taste of it. So it will draw them back to when it's fully completed. But I feel like the announcement itself for the expansion is going to be at the either Destination D or the D23 Expo.
Yeah, I think that the next big thing for Disneyland that they'll announce is going to be Pandora. I think that's going to be the big thing. I don't know when they're going to announce it. They might, George, like what you said, they might wait until Destination D, which I think is like in the fall of this year.
November.
In November. Okay, so that's about right. Probably they might wait till then to announce like a Pandora. That's where my chips are. That's where I'm putting my chips in. I think it's going to be a Pandora expansion, and if they announce it at the end of 2023, so that gives you about 4 years,
about 4.5. So that might be enough.
That might be enough. I think that might be the play there. I think Pandora, there's a lot of momentum there. They've already said, Bob Iger already announced it. That we're getting some sort of a Pandora experience or whatever here. So the ball is rolling on that, my money's on a Pandora as the next big thing. I think we're also going to hear about whether or not Disneyland Forward is moving forward. And from what I understand with that, the timeline is like early 2024. So,
for announcement?
Well, for whether or not the city approves it.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, in terms of like, actual projects and stuff, who knows? Like people said many times, it's like a 30-year thing. It's more of a seed planting thing for the future than any kind of thing that they're planning on right now. But that's the rumors that the Anaheim City Council might vote on that early 2024. So we'll get an answer around that time. And I actually do believe they will approve it. I think the momentum with this thing is like, they just had that event, which our good friend Theme Park Casual and Barry Plays 28, subscribe to their YouTube channels, by the way. They came on the channel recently, right? And we all talked about that Disneyland Forward event, and a lot of Anaheim officials were at that event. There seems to be a relationship there with Anaheim and Disney right now that wasn't there just a few years ago. I would be shocked if Disneyland Forward doesn't get greenlit. I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, and I think also too, if it does get announced like at the beginning of 2024, then that also gives leadway to kind of, expand that horizon a little bit at the expo once again, where they can kind of talk a little bit more, because the expo is probably going to be August, September 2024.
Right.
That's usually the time frame. And I agree with you. I think Pandora is going to be the hard ticket event, because for how popular it is at Animal Kingdom at Walt Disney World in Florida, I'm for sure with the locals in California, they'll go nuts for it. And especially the tourism coming in for the Olympics. all eyes will be on Disneyland, and especially with a brand new land and its Pandora with The Way of Water that just was phenomenal at the box office.